injury updates from Shanahan's press conference yesterday, a debunked Brandon Aiyuk story that was kind of making its rounds yesterday in 49ers social media, Twitter. And then, of course, the Monday Night Football double headers and Jake Moody's game-winning field goal. Like, who is this guy? All that going on here in a couple seconds. Let's do this thing. All right, welcome back, everybody. The First and 49ers podcast. I'm back joined with Rich. Rich, how you feeling today?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm getting over a little bit of the Fred Warner kind of sadness. It was. What was your take on it? I haven't even really talked to you about it since then.
It was horrible. You hate seeing something like that because it's not. It was just a horrible accident. You've seen all the people that are out there, saying Tig shouldn't even be out there and he's the reason it happened. It's like, guys, come on. It's just a horrible accident.
Yeah.
Be thankful that it's something that he can heal up in 3 or 4 months and be back ready for next season. I mean, it's horrible now, but be happy that it's not something catastrophic that he can't come back from.
Yeah, at first I thought it was an ACL. So I mean, even though it's a bad ankle injury, I mean, you look at guys like Dak Prescott. He had a similar injury a couple of years ago, and he came back from it. He's looking good. So it's good things from Fred that he suffered that and not an ACL, but still, it was a gruesome injury.
We have a history of this with Garrison Hurst back in the day. Breaking his ankle like that and having avascular necrosis and taking 2 years to come back.
2 years? Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah, he did it in '98, and I think he ended up being comeback player of the year in 2001. I think that's right.
Wow. Maybe we'll see a comeback player of the year for Fred Warner too. If there's any guy to do it, it's him.
No, just heal back in 3 months and be ready for training camp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what we want from Fred. And the worst part about it is that he's probably playing the best of his whole career. You could say was the best player in the NFL this year. That's the most disappointing part probably of it all for him, is that the guy is that good.
Yeah, and just the fact that you just see everybody's hearts just essentially got ripped out. Like you could see it all. Everybody after the game, Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams. I forgot who else was talking after the game. I saw Juwan Jennings. He said he had to take a nausea pill after that. So I mean, it's brutal because he's the heartbeat of the 49ers team, not only just the defense but the entire team.
Yeah, and they felt kind of lost out there. You could just tell. I mean, Bethune's a tackling machine. He played well in in Fred's absence, but you could just tell the game was not being called the way Fred would have called it. You could see, and then the tackling just seemed to disappear with him as well. Maybe guys were a little shell shocked with him or something. But I mean, that 3rd and 14 Baker Mayfield play when guys had him dead to rights, and there he goes.
Yeah.
Who was that? I think that was I think it was Huff, and
it was Huff.
Was that Upton Stout?
It was Huff and Gibson, Travis Gibson.
Yeah.
And then he proceeded to shake 2 more tackles after that. And then there's also that one play that was busted coverage. The receiver was wide open. I forgot, it was probably later in the game or something, but I was listening to KBR. They're like, yeah, if Fred was out there, they probably would have had the right communication, because I think they shifted the receiver or something like that, and the Niners didn't shift with them or something. There was just a miscommunication there. So that's kind of the stuff I feel like, sadly, we're going to be seeing the rest of the season, without his communication out there.
Even that long touchdown, they split the safeties.
Yeah.
And they just watched him walk in. It was like, are you kidding me right now? I mean, they just watched him walk in. That was horrible.
Yeah, you could just tell. He was just shredding the 49ers defense after Fred Warner came out. And it was similar, it seemed like, to the Super Bowl. After Dre Greenlaw went out, they were attacking whoever our linebacker was after that, like in the middle of the field, the Chiefs, and it was just brutal. It just seemed like the same thing, kind of.
Yeah, and with a week of game plan, maybe Bethune will be okay. I mean, look, he's not Fred, but I mean, he's a tackling machine. It's how are they going to adjust? It's how are they going to adjust to this? Because look, losing Bosa was pretty bad, but I wouldn't put Bosa currently in his career in the same place with Fred.
No,
Fred is he's just a tier above.
Yeah,
he's just a tier above. Plus he's the guy calling the defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now we have to have the new quarterback of the defense probably, and they said actually it was Tatum Bethune. I'll pull it up right here. Coach Yak, you see that on the screen. 49ers
Yeah.
are not expected to trade for a veteran linebacker, and we'll go with Tatum Bethune as a starting Mike for the rest of the season. So there we have it right there via Matt Mayoko. So that's kind of after Fred Warner got taken out for the rest of the season. That's kind of my initial thoughts are like, what are the 49ers plans the rest of the season? Are we going to go for that high end defensive end or now a linebacker? And I think we kind of get our answer there. I didn't expect the 49ers even to go for a big defensive end after this Fred Warner injury.
No, I think it's still gonna be the Arden Key kind of guy. I don't think they're looking to make a big splash unless they can find somebody that is young and they can get multiple years out of them. I don't really think they're looking for expiring contract guys, and there's not going to be any of that really good ones available. I mean, I think they were talking about one guy in the Giants. I can't remember his name. He's 23. So
The
you're like, all
rookie,
right, there's
yeah.
upside with him. There's upside with that, but I think that's what they're looking for more than rentals. I mean, look, you get rentals when you're one player away from the Super Bowl. You don't get rentals when you're just trying to figure out who you are still. I mean, it's still early in the season. That's why you don't want to totally give up yet, because I think this team still wins 10, 11 games,
Mhm.
even without Fred. And I don't want to, come across as, oh yeah, these are automatics. But it's just like, first thing I did, I just went through the schedule and was like, all right, does this still look like a W? Does this still look like a W? And I'm like, all right, maybe,
Yeah.
we got reinforcements coming, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean we're 4-2 right now. You can't even close the chapter on this season yet because we're 3-0 also in the division. But the Niners are going to have to rely on this offense. It's time for Kyle Shanahan to get this offense going, and I think that's a good segue into the injury updates because we're going to get some of our starting offensive players back. Let's pull it up here if I can. Some of the injury updates from yesterday. Here we go. We got first one. I think this is the biggest one. George Kittle is scheduled to return to practice this week, and Kyle Shanahan is also hoping for Brandon Aiyuk to return around week 10. So I think we start talking off with George Kittle. Rich, you've been saying it for the past couple weeks now. If we get George Kittle back, this run game for the 49ers is going to look completely different. And Christian McCaffrey might actually run for more than 3 yards a carry.
I think he's 1 to 1.5 yards per carry difference in the run game. And that's I'll call it, that's the hot take. I mean, everybody's kind of, oh, Kittle gets back, maybe he'll be better. He's 1 to 1.5 yards a game, a carry better.
Yeah.
That's going to be the big piece on that is going to make it's going to make or break the season pretty much right now. I mean, it's unfortunate that he's been out as long as he has, but it's going to be good. And I'm hoping with Tonjes playing so well, we do some 2 tight end sets with these guys. I think that's going to be a big piece for us as a team. I really and I felt like this past week, Kyle did a bunch of things that were kind of out of character for him that I liked. He was going for it on fourth down. 2-minute drill, 2 minutes left. Years ago, I mean, even 3 years ago, he would have taken a knee and just, when there was 40, 50 seconds left before the half, he would have just taken a knee and gone to the half. He
Yeah.
went for it and went down and got some points. I mean, they were field goals, and that's our problem right now is we need touchdowns. But I really, I was really surprised and happily surprised in what Kyle was doing with the offense.
I think it's part of Shanahan knows too is that this offense is gonna have to carry this defense. I mean, you saw the Baker was shredding the 49ers all game long. And he's like, the only way we're gonna win this game if we actually put some points on the board. And yeah, the field goals were not good, but luckily we have Eddie P and he's been shooting them left and right. But yeah, you can't win games when you're just scoring four field goals a game. But yeah, I agree. He has been changing up his game plan and hopefully for the better. And hopefully now that Fred Warner's out, we can potentially get something going on offense. But I mean, that kind of comes to the same thing too, which just like the offensive line, it's been so bad. And it's like, are you able to win 10 or 11 games now, like with how bad this offensive line has looked? And I'm not trying to jump too ahead here because we'll talk about it later. But the Falcons, I was watching them, they sacked Josh Allen 4 times this last game against the Buccaneers. Mac Jones suffered six sacks in the game. So I don't know.
He was beat up. He was so beat up in that game. Look, this team's notorious for not really divulging all the injuries and how bad they are.
Yeah.
But Mac is out there playing on one leg, and he's hurting. You could just tell the way he was moving around. I mean, a couple of times he got hit, and it was like, ooh, you can just tell he took some numbing shots and went out there and gutted it out. It was surprisingly effective. I mean, what do you throw? 342, I think it was, or something like that. It was a big
347, I
number.
think. Yeah.
It was still a big number, but
Imagine having a clean pocket throwing like that, minus those with a clean pocket, he's probably not throwing at least the first interception. That one was kind of Kendrick Bourne's mistake anyway, because he cut back in on the route. But
he's killing me. Kendrick Bourne's killing me.
yeah.
He's got all those yards and those grabs, but then he runs the wrong way. He did a false start. He's
Yeah.
not lining up in the right spot. It's the guy. It's you're watching him, and he's so frustrating to watch because he's so ill prepared
Yeah.
to play. It's just bad to watch. I mean, he's super undisciplined, and it's frustrating. I just the yards are great. He had those two giant, 40 something and 58, I think was the other
Yeah,
one.
2
I
big
mean,
grabs. And it
you
was like, I
know,
feel like both of them were right after he made, like, some stupid mistake, like it was a false start or something like that, and I was talking about it yesterday. I was like, he made me so bipolar during that game because he had the pick after when that happened, and then right after that, he proceeded to get the 41-yard catch over the
yeah.
middle of the field. I'm like, "All right, I feel better now," but man, he was doing it all game long.
That's one thing I do like about Mac is that he does keep going back at the guys
Yeah.
when Demarcus Robinson dropped his, Mac went right back to him two more times,
Mhm.
and he caught the ball. I like that he's not giving up on the guys when they aren't performing. But yeah, Kendrick Bourne though, dude, he's so frustrating. He's so frustrated. He's got to be the coach has got to be like,
I'm sure
dude, what
Shanahan
are you
has
doing out there?
headaches. He's got headaches just watching him out there.
Yeah. I mean, I think your bipolar analogy is like perfect because it's like you watch him and you're like, yes, 40 something yards. False
Next
start, cut
play.
him.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, false start, cut him. It's like, it's so rough watching him play. I mean, and like I said, the offense has been, I don't want to say dynamic, but I think they tried to do the Rams game plan. They tried to play keep away as much as they could, and then Baker just was like, nope.
Yeah, yeah, and I saw there's a stat. The Niners, I think, are number 1 in passing offense this year. I think they lead the league in, I think it's 290 yards average per game. So, I mean, if you could just get the run game going a little bit, score 2 touchdowns. If you score 2 touchdowns in this game, the Niners are probably winning it.
Yeah, and it's really it's basically last year we're just getting the W's instead of the losses. I mean, look, we're horrible in the red zone, and I haven't even looked at the updated ones where we are red zone and where we are goal to go. But I mean, I think 2 weeks ago we were 42% in red zone and we were 34 or something percent in goal to go. So it's just for touchdowns,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh man, dude, ugh. Again, hope George Kittle fixes all that. It could happen. He'll help the run game, and he'll help, obviously being the target that he is in the passing game, especially anytime inside the 20. Kittle's definitely a weapon.
Yeah, 100%. Moving on to the second injury update, we got Ricky Pearsall. He's going to be reevaluated this week to see if he can actually return, I think, to practice this week. So we won't know until probably tomorrow if he's practicing. That'll give us a good sign whether he's going to be back on Sunday. But I don't know, just hearing that kind of update, just seeing that they're going to reevaluate him, it doesn't make me excited to think that he's going to be playing on Sunday night.
No, I don't think Ricky's playing. I don't think. I think the only one that's going to be back is probably Kittle. I think Ricky and Brock will still be out another week. They keep talking. It's like I think they're just teasing him so that you got to prepare for both quarterbacks. At least that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Because you got to sit Brock. You can't until he's 100%. You got to sit him.
yeah. I mean,
Don't put him out there.
even 90%, I don't think his toes even going to be 100% the rest of this season. I mean,
No,
this
agreed.
Yeah, they're hopeful that Brock Purdy can get back onto the field and do a little more this week. Just hearing that update right there is like he's not playing Sunday. It's just hoping that, I mean, the best case scenario, even for the week after, is that if he's good enough to suit up as the backup quarterback for Mac Jones.
Yeah, I think that's like your best hope.
Yeah.
That's your best hope because I mean Martinez is scary, dude. I mean it was funny because I think somebody was posting a bunch of his UFL like plays and stuff like that, and I thought it was so
Mhm.
funny how how much those Birmingham uniforms look like 49er uniforms.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious. I was like, oh my gosh, wow, okay. I'm like, he went to the right team.
Yeah, MVP of the UFL or whatever
Yeah.
USFL, whatever league that he was in.
Yeah, but look, he's not ready. I don't think he's ready to play. I mean, I'm sure Kyle would coach him up, and he would probably come out and throw 4 touchdowns just because of Kyle. And I know Curtis Rourke's getting his practice window opened up probably in the next few weeks as well, which is kind of exciting too.
Yeah. Was he, we picked him up after the draft, right? He was an undrafted free
No,
agent?
we drafted him. We
You
drafted him.
did draft him the 7th round?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was 7th round or something like
Sure.
that because no one was going to touch him with the blown ACL. Of course, 49ers.
Yeah.
Trent
That's our
Trent
guy.
Trent, Trent Baalke's hiding in a closet,
This
but
was yeah.
he looks legit. I watched some YouTube thing on him,
Mhm.
and I mean he's tall, he's got a good arm, he's mobile.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I was
mean
watching a little bit of, like, a documentary about him, and, like, his older brother, I think, played in the league or played at least in college, and
yeah, played college.
he did play college, yeah, and he's just been the underdog, and he's looked up to his brother, and so he seems like he's got that competitive spirit and, like, he knows and that's what the Niners like, I guess, besides other than getting injury-prone players, they like guys who are underdogs, we see it in Brock Purdy and guys that just love football, and I think that's just great to have on the team.
No, absolutely. It's just as long as the upside, goes along with the actual skill set. I think they go with guys sometimes that the floor is too low. It's like, hi, can we just get the floor a little higher?
Right?
You know, it's great that the guy's got upside, but he's got to have a floor. He's got to have a pro floor.
Right. This was an interesting update because we haven't heard his name in a couple weeks, and someone in the chat a couple days ago was actually asking about Jordan Watkins. Shanahan said that he's had a calf injury. He's expected to return to practice this week. So I think this would be a great thing for the 49ers offense. He's got that 4-3 kind of speed, and Mac Jones, he likes to air the ball out. So we got to see Jordan Watkins suit up for Sunday Night Football. This would be, I think, a great thing for the Niners.
I think he is going to be mini Debo.
Okay. I
He's
like that.
built more like a running back than he is a receiver.
Mhm.
And I think with him, you can do all the stuff you used to do with Debo. That you can't. They try to do it with Pearsall. He's not built like that.
Yeah. He's a different
He's not
receiver.
that guy. He's not that guy. And Watkins is definitely that guy. All those little jet sweeps and
Mhm.
all those little quick screens and wide receiver screens and all that. That's all the stuff Watkins can do. Because really, right now, we don't really have a guy that can do all that stuff. It would have to be CMC. You would have to flex CMC into the slot or somewhere like that to get that kind of player because we don't have a thing. But all our receivers right now are big, lanky kind of guys, and they're not little speedsters like Watkins is. And I think that's what's gonna we really need that.
Yeah, that's something I actually didn't even think about till right now. So I don't think we've ran a single jet sweep this entire year because we don't have the players for it. That's a great point.
They tried it with Ricky early in the season. I can't remember if that was preseason or not, but I remember they tried to do it like twice with him, and it was like, dude, no,
Yeah,
no, he is not that player. He's not. He's too he doesn't break tackles. I
yeah.
guess that's that was the whole premise of doing that is you need to be able to break tackles, and that's just not Ricky's game.
I think just leading back into how the 49ers offenses look different, like no jet sweeps or anything. Like the 49ers this past with Mac Jones, they've been throwing the ball more than I think I've ever seen a Shanahan offense do it. And it's because of this run game hasn't been able to perform well. But how like it can't be sustainable, I feel like, without this run game. And it all stems back to this offensive line. And it's funny, this is becoming a new headline for everybody now, talking about how bad the interior line was. Jake Brendel, Pooney, and Connor Colby. People are saying maybe we should try to find someone off of a practice squad or trade for an offensive lineman. What are your thoughts?
Um, Brendel is horrible.
Yeah.
He was just getting blown up in the game. There was one play where I can't remember where it was in the game, but they handed CMC the ball, and when CMC got tackled, he was still behind the line of scrimmage, and Brendel was behind him. I was like, wait a minute,
That's not
what
supposed
is
to
going
happen.
what is going on here? And I don't know. Maybe his guy must have pushed him back that far. And
Yeah.
Colby, I saw him make a couple of good blocks in the game, but you're going against Vita Vea. Everybody's going to look bad. But there was also a play where Vea went up, and I mean Brendel and Pooney
Cooney.
He walked him into the backfield.
Yeah, Vita Vea was getting double teamed by both of them, and he just blew through both of them. Right there, I was like, man, this guy's a beast, and our interior line is not good. Brendel, I don't give any grace to Brendel. He's been in the league forever. Pooney, I'm starting not to give any more grace to him because we know, I think this knee injury, and Shanahan actually brought it up too, that it probably is affecting his game. But at the same time, like he hasn't been on the injury reports or anything. So at that point, it's like if you're not on the injury report, you got to play better.
Well, Brock wasn't on the injury report when he had the freaking toe damage when he went back too. So I mean, that's Kyle. Just JJ, was he on the injury list for his ribs?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, he wasn't. You're right.
They were like ankle, and it's like, well, both of his ankles and his ribs, they're not on there. Look, the 49ers are terrible. But I'm surprised how, and I know I've said this before. I'm surprised how much they get away with as far as divulging injuries.
Yeah. The
Because
fact that we're
they're
to these injuries.
yeah, I mean, and then even Mac. I mean, Mac wasn't on injury. He was on for oblique and the knee still, but you can tell he's dealing with a whole lot more than that. I
Mhm.
mean, he can barely walk, and he's out there, hobbling around. I was like, oh man. And he got sacked 6 times.
Yeah, it was just bad for Mac. I don't know how he's still walking. Papa
You
J.
know,
Yeah, go on, go on.
McKivitz is still playing well. Trent had a game for him.
He's looking better. I mean, I'm surprised our offensive tackles, we haven't had to talk about him so much, but yeah, it's the interior line that just absolutely crumbled. And I give grace to Connor Colby because he's a rookie. He's getting experience. You can't expect him to be great, but
But usually when your line plays horrible, you have the line tighten their splits so that the gaps are smaller, so guys just can't blow through them. That's one thing they're not changing. They're
so they're
leaving
staying
the
wide.
splits wide, and guys are just jumping the gaps on them, and they're just not good enough. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the simple part. When you got guys like that, I mean, you tighten the splits down to like half of what they are. Yeah, you condense the formation, but at
Mhm.
the same time, guys aren't just going to be blowing the A gaps up. And I mean, you see how many times. I mean, they're talking about CMC, how he's only averaging 2.5, 3.1 yards a game, but how many times he's getting hit in the backfield and still getting positive yardage.
Yeah.
That lets you know that it's the line and not him. I
Mhm.
guess that's when you're watching it, that's what you're seeing is you're like everyone's going, oh, CMC's lost a step. And do I think he has? Yes, but he's still his 95%, his 90% is still better than just about everybody else in the league.
Yeah.
But he's getting slapped in the backfield, and the fact that he's getting positive yardage still. But like I said, this is the week to find out. Over the next 2 weeks, we'll find out what this team's going to look like between what we got the Falcons now and it's what Houston after that.
Yeah, I think Houston is after the Falcons this week.
Yeah, so I think we'll find out these next 2 games because I think Atlanta. Where's Atlanta? Is their run game like 1 or 2 in the league or something like that? Their
They're
run defense is good.
I think Bijan is number 1 in the league, so yeah, they're up there, especially for the run game.
Yeah, what about their run defense though?
Run defense, I just had the stats on that actually. Their run defense, I think they're 16th in the league, so
Okay,
that's
so middle of the
positive.
pack.
Yeah, middle of the pack, positive for the Niners. But yeah, their defense as a whole is like really good. They're number 1 in total defense in the league, only allowing average 244 yards per game, and is only allowed after this is before the Bills game, but they had 8 touchdowns allowed. And then they're number 1 in pass defense, usually only allowing 135 yards. So it'll be a tough task.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of the season, we looked at this as a W. I looked at this as a W. I
Me
was
too.
like, yep, it was just like, didn't even think about it. It was like you win,
Yeah.
and that defense, could be, and we don't know what our defense is going to be. I mean, they were struggling tackling. I mean, that was the glaring problem. I mean, that was where
And it's
that's
weird too, 'cause
it.
after Fred went out too, it seemed like.
It looked like last year where
Yeah.
guys were just getting tossed, which was kind of surprising. I mean, I didn't think the tackling would be that bad.
I don't know if it was like a lack of spirit or something, because I mean, the first 10, not 10 minutes, it was probably like 6 minutes of the game with Fred in there. They seemed fine. So I don't know if it was just a big blow to their ego. But yeah, the tackling's got to get better.
Yeah, one unsung hero in this game, Michael Williams got his first sack.
Yeah.
And the whole game, same thing. he that sweep left touchdown was his fault. He didn't contain on that. He
Yeah.
crashed, didn't contain, and they ran
Yeah.
right outside of him. It was
Why?
like, oh, it was horrible. I when I watched, I was just like, oh my God, look at Mike Kelly crashed and he didn't contain.
And that's just being a rookie right there, you know?
Yep. Yeah, it was shocking. It was
That's
definitely shocking, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean but it was good. He got his first sack. He actually played well. One thing I love about him
mhm,
is nobody is pushing him backwards. Still,
yeah.
double teams. He's still working through the double teams. Um, he's. I think he's better on the left side though. And that's probably me. I think he's better on the left side.
Mhm.
But
Yes, that'd be the right tackle on that side, right?
yeah, yeah. I thought he was better over there, and I think they put him over there to kind of replace Bosa. But I thought Huff played the right side too for some reason. I thought he was better on the right side.
Yeah.
But whatever. I think they're moving Huff around to kind of
I mean, our whole
try
D-line,
to.
it sucks anyway, so they're trying to do
Yeah, it's
anything
rough.
possible to do to get generate some pressure.
Yep.
Let's get to some of the chats right here. Papa J, in my opinion, we need to stop using CMC as a running back and use him more like Debo. I mean, if you stop using Christian McCaffrey at all as a running back, though, you're not going to have a run game whatsoever because he's doing the minimal.
No,
Robinson can't do anything.
I get what you're saying, but they'd be better off running 21 or 22 personnel with CMC and Robinson on the field at the same time, and then flexing McCaffrey into positions to try to create mismatches. You don't want to just make him a receiver
Yeah,
because then you're wrecking the chess piece that CMC is.
right.
Because you can dictate defense with him. If they would run and put both backs back there, it would be much better than trying to just make him a straight receiver. He'd be good. I no doubt he'd be good. He'd be an excellent slot receiver. I mean,
Yeah,
he'd be Julian Edelman, except better. And it's
probably.
and you hate to say it, but as you're losing half of CMC's game if you do that. If you because you're saying, oh, he's not running the ball like he used to. You don't wait till Kittle comes back. Just be
Yeah,
patient. Wait till Kittle comes back. And if he's averaging 4.5 yards a carry when Kittle's back, we know what the problem is.
yeah, 100%. BJ1 on Instagram said Giants are interested in JJ. What you guys think? I didn't see an official report saying that the Giants were interested in Juwan Jennings. My dad did actually send that to me earlier today, so I don't know. He's got 5 broken ribs, high ankle sprains, low ankle sprains. I don't know how much trade value you'd get out of him, but they do need a
They
receiver.
they need him. They need him. If they give me your best, best end that's not Thibodeau.
Yeah,
You know what? That's the way of my brand. I think that's the guy I was thinking of. I think the other kid, I can't remember his name, but he's like 23. He's basically backing up Thibodeau. He's not their starter. I
yeah.
would trade JJ right now because Kendrick Bourne's basically replaced him.
Mhm. No, absolutely.
Kendrick Bourne's basically replaced him. Look, do I love JJ as a player? Yes. Do I think he's tough? Yes. Do I want to give him big money? No, he's not. He's not. He's number three. He's a number three. If they're going to keep Kendrick Bourne here, which I'm okay with it for the rest of the year, but that's what he's going to be. He's number three, and he's not. He's going to be, and we can't have him being here as a disgruntled player. We don't need that here. Especially now with everything going on with what happened on the sideline between Shanahan and him. Look, I'm sorry, you are out of line when the coach is trying to get a score before the half, and you're up yelling at the coach when he's trying to do his job. I'm like, dude, dude,
Yeah.
dude, dude, get real here. We don't need to be hearing about how you need to hit your incentives.
Incentives, yeah. You got 5 broken ribs, like, you're not a viable option for this offense right now. He had 1
Yeah,
catch, and it was a 3rd down catch, so, it was a good 1 catch that he actually had, but, yeah, doing that in the middle of the game, and then Shanahan kinda downplaying it after saying, "Oh, it's just Juwan, he's very emotional," and the way the game was going and all that, but,
and you
also
want that.
yeah,
You want
you
that.
do.
That's the look. Emotion is part of the game. but you got to be heady, and you got to think about situations.
It's smart.
Kyle
We just have
Shanahan's,
to do it.
think about it. Shanahan's trying to call the game
He was
before the
leading
half,
the drive.
and you got Zipperhead in your ear while you're trying to, call the game. It's like, dude, you got to be aware of what's going on here. You got to be aware. It's not about you. It's about the team.
Yeah, 100%. We can shift into Brandon Aiyuk. I think this is the biggest story of the day of yesterday as well. So if you guys don't know already, basically what happened is Jennifer Lee Chan wrote an article on NBC Sports Bay Area talking about Brandon Aiyuk, saying that he hasn't been out on the field for a couple of weeks now, and that he actually scrubbed his entire social media of anything 49ers related. But literally 5 minutes after that happened, Brad Graham from the SF Niners actually debunked the story. See if I could, what is it on here?
I saw Brad's replay on that.
Here he is right here. It said, this report is patently false. Brandon Ayuk never refollowed the 49ers. His IG has looked the same for months, and he's had a link to his profile directly pointing back to the 49ers. What a random thing to spin while being completely wrong on every point made about it. So that was kind of crazy actually seeing that. And like as soon as I saw it, I posted it instantly because it's Jennifer Lee Chan, So I'm like, okay, that's a credible source. Like that's a surprise. It makes no sense why Brandon Ayuk could be disgruntled or anything. He's coming back from an ACL. But then we see that a couple minutes later. So that hurts Jennifer Lee Chan a little bit in her credibility. But she took it the right way. She admitted her faults. What are your thoughts, Rich?
I thought that was a big gaffe by her.
Yeah,
As someone who is, NBC Bay Area, that basically they are the 49ers media.
yeah.
They may as well be between her and Miyoko, they're 49er media.
Mm-hmm.
That was really shocking to see as far as that goes. I was like, wow. And I think I follow. I can't remember which one I follow Ayuk on. I can't remember if it's X or Instagram or whatever. But he never brought any of that information back. It's what Brad said is 100% true, because you don't see all that stuff with him. But I thought I saw him on the field in the Rams game running like sprints and stuff on the field before the game.
Yeah, he was. And then I saw there's a whole thing about it, or they're saying that that's not allowed for guys on the IR to be running on the field before games.
They're not supposed to be there.
Yeah,
They're definitely not supposed to be there. They're not supposed to be. He's not even supposed to be out on the practice field. He's been out on the practice field too. So I
yeah,
don't know if somebody in the league maybe said, hey, he can't be out there
yeah.
because
Got
he was out running routes. I've seen plenty of stuff on X and stuff like that of people recording him running routes and running sprints and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I did it. I did it. I recorded him also during the preseason game before the Raiders. He was out there. I think they were saying something about that too, like he shouldn't be out there or something. But it was still preseason. But yeah, a lot of people have been doing it throughout the year. Jennifer Lee, this is her article right here. She didn't delete it, but she did correct it and everything. The original version of this story contained incorrect reporting that the 49ers receiver Ayuk recently unfollowed the team on Instagram and removed all references to the team from his account. And yeah, when I saw it at first too, I was like, what is he disgruntled about? Like maybe because like what you said earlier, maybe he wants to be on the field and the 49ers have said no so far. But I was like, that's just another thing to worry about after Fred Warner got injured and everything. Just didn't make sense to me.
When I saw the report initially, I immediately thought that the 49ers are trying to slow play Ayuk's return, and
Mhm.
that he's pissed. That's what I thought, is that they were trying to slow play his return, and that he's like, wait a minute, I'm ready, and you guys are telling me I'm not. No, 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 no. And he's been, how do I say? I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say immature nicely, so I'll just say that he's been immature at times during his negotiating.
Yeah.
And I was just like, all right, here we go again. But at the same time, here's a guy that wants to play, and the team didn't want to throw him out there. That's what I thought initially, is why haven't we opened this guy's practice window up?
Yeah.
If he's raring to go, like I said, that was my initial thoughts. It wasn't all of this, stuff that happened 6 months ago.
Right. Yeah, just idiotic stuff, and you see that all the time now in the league. It's so annoying because he was just taking the same lead as all these other receivers that have done it, other guys trying to hold out for contract, and then that's funny. Like the new thing, like, oh, I'm gonna unfollow everybody on social media now to prove that I'm upset and all this.
But there's so much bad information out there now that you really have to go in and like check and look around. I know if before I'm going to repost something on Twitter, usually I'm looking around. I'm
Yeah.
like, if I see something that looks wonky or weird, I automatically go to Mayoko or someone who I feel is like the credible source and go,
Exactly.
okay, is he saying this? Because if he's saying this, then we know it's true. If Miyoko, Matt Barrows, Kruger,
Mhm.
guys like that, if they're saying it, then there's a chance that it's probably true. But if it's guys out on the peripheral and somebody you don't really, you've never heard of or something like that, if Grant Cohn says it, I'm going to be like, all right, Grant's a credible source. But you really got to look. You really got to look. There's so much bad information out there.
Yeah, and that's just 101, like journalism 101 is it's not you're not want to be you don't want to be first, you want to be correct, you know? So if you are first, and you just got to be correct about it. And that's one of the biggest things I've learned. And I'm sure previously I'm sure I posted something that actually wasn't completely true, and I was like, "Ah, I feel bad now." And that hurts your credibility, especially if you're like going to be a respected journalist one day and people see that and they don't
Yep.
want to follow you for it because they're like, "Oh, you're just posting either BS or clickbait or something like that." I'm not that type of guy to do that. So I've definitely been more kind of keen on things. But like it was Jennifer Lee Chen, so I posted it right away. I was like, "Oh, here we go again, guys. It's happening." I don't know why, but something to look out for. And then instantly I was like, okay, Graham just debunked it. I gotta update this post now.
Yeah, and like I said, Brad's a good credible source, and he's super dedicated. That's
Yeah,
that's one of the things I like about him. He's super dedicated to the team and all that kind of stuff. It's cool to see a guy that does what he does as well as he does, but is also a fan of the team. Isn't just a casual watch or something like that. He's actually loves the team. So it's
yeah.
it's it's cool to see passion and good news is in one package.
On Instagram, I hate QB's 99. I seen Fred was getting ready for surgery. I could put it up right here. A couple hours ago, RSF 49ers posted it. His wife, Sydney Warner, posted right before surgery, in high spirits, all set for his surgery. Well, look at that, man. That's just thumbs up, smiles and everything right before you're about to go down into surgery for your ankle. I mean, that's just a man, that's my leader right there. It just sucks to have him off the field.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, the good part about that is usually the guys don't go into surgery quickly like that if there's a lot of swelling and a lot of things they've got to fight through. So
Yeah.
the fact that they're doing it this fast is actually good. Because think about Ayuk. When Ayuk hurt his knee, he didn't get his surgery for like 2 or 3 weeks because they couldn't get the swelling to go down to go and do the surgery. Even like same thing with Bosa's ACL. They
Took
did it like 2 days
days.
later because there was no swelling.
Yeah.
You got to take this stuff as a positive. I mean, Tyreek Hill exploded his leg, the other day, and he was in surgery like what the next day. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah.
So it's great to it makes you think that guy's gonna be all right.
And it's a testament because Fred Warner is just a different player. David Lombardi posted it saying how many times he's been on the field or has not been on the field. 132 out of 133 games in his entire career, he's been on the field. And I was like, I saw that. I'm like, yeah, honestly, every single season, I don't remember Fred Warner missing a single game. And he missed one, but man, that dude is just an animal. So I think it's a
Even
testament.
last year
Even last year, he's built
with the
different.
busted ankle, he had a busted ankle
Yeah.
last
And
year.
he had a
I don't know if
busted
this is
ankle.
the same ankle.
That's,
And
yeah,
he
that's
played
right.
on and he played on it, and it was pretty impressive. And the other thing, I don't know if you saw that stat from he was five tackles short of getting in front of Willis,
Yeah, I did see that.
and
Rough.
didn't get it
Yeah.
and didn't get it. So it was like, oh,
And
oh,
Patrick Willis, he was in the league, I think, for 8 years, right? And this was Fred
yeah,
Warner's 8th year in the league. It's just
yeah.
the
So I mean, he was
parallels.
joining elite company. He was joining elite company.
Yeah. No, definitely he's putting up a Hall of Fame resume, and it just sucks because
Yes,
he's at the peak of his career right now this season.
yeah.
Hoping
He's
he come
playing.
back.
He's playing the best of his career, and he's best on the team. And like I said, arguably best player in the NFL right now. That because the problem is like MVP is a quarterback. It's a quarterback trophy. It's not a defensive player trophy. I think that's the whole reason they came out with Defensive Player of the Year award.
Mhm.
So, but I mean, you can argue that Fred was MVP. It wasn't Defensive Player of the Year. He's the best player on the field. I mean, just every time that guy has stepped on the field this year, he's the best player on the field. Even with Bosa out there, best player on the field.
And it doesn't just hurt the 49ers like this injury. I feel like it hurts the entire league, because he's like he's the face of the or of the league when it comes to linebackers. Everyone comes to him like, yeah, he's the most respected. He's a great guy. He's a beast on the field and everything. Just having him not on the field anymore, just in an NFL standpoint, it hurts the product a little bit.
Oh yeah, when your best players aren't out there, yeah. I mean, it's 100%. It's a league of promoting stars, and when your top guy, especially because you don't have as many defensive stars. The
Right.
problem is they usually promote quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. Those are the guys that it's mostly offensive promote. So when you've actually got a premier defensive player, it's so disappointing. It's just it's a sad day.
Yeah. Monday Night Football was yesterday. Double header, some exciting games. Falcons versus the Bills, Bears versus the Commanders. I think the first one we get into, and we talked about it a little bit, was this Falcons and Bills game. This one surprised me a lot. The Bills are 4-1, coming off a loss to the Patriots. Drake May's MVP candidate, arguably this year, and they beat the Bills 24-14, 10-point game. The Falcons, they look good. And they start off, I think, 1-1 this year. They lost 30-0 to the Panthers, I think, a couple weeks ago. And now they're over 500. And I mean, this defense looks legit, Rich. And I'm worried about it because they sacked Josh Allen 4 times yesterday. He got picked off 2 times. Similar stats to what Mac Jones had, sacked 6 times yesterday on Sunday and had 2 picks. What are your thoughts about the Falcons defense, about this game beating the Bills? I mean, they might be a legit playoff contender.
If our interior offensive line doesn't keep whoever's playing quarterback clean, it's going to be a long game.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season, we were talking earlier. I had this. I just was like, this is a W. No, this is a W. I think we check overall. I think their defense is number one in the league right now
Yeah, number one in the league
for
defensively
yardage.
for yardage. Yeah. But then 16th, they drop down into the middle of the pack for the run defense. So if anything, that's where the Niners should attack and hopefully can attack.
They need to. They look, even though they're only getting the 3.1 per game, you still need to have the threat of the run in there.
Yeah.
You still have to have the threat of the run in there. You've got to run enough to at least let people know, because otherwise nobody's going to play us straight up. They're gonna cheat back. Or they'll play soft, and then we won't be able to pass either. So the threat of the run always has to be there, and I think it's super important in the Kyle Shanahan offense anyway. You know, you just got to pound it and get in there. I just wish that we'd give some of these other guys some carries. I wish Robinson could get some carries, more than, a couple per game. I mean, Kyle, he just does not know how to substitute. He just does not know how to substitute. And like I said, I don't even know if Kyle is in charge of substitutions, or
Mhm.
if CMC has to wait to, put his hand up for someone to come in there and spell him. But I don't know.
Yeah.
CMC he's been an Iron Man this year. He's been an Iron Man.
I'm just concerned about how much we've been passing the ball and how the run game hasn't been working. I'm just waiting for it to finally blow up in the 49ers face, because the Shanahan's offense isn't surrounded by passing 49 times a game, but Mac Jones, every single time he's been out there, he's passed it, I think he's had 40 attempts or more every single time. And now he's banged up too. It's scary that we can easily drop down, probably maybe to 4-4, at the end of this next couple game stretch, if we can't get the run game going.
Um, Again, Kittle should help with that, and he should help with loosening up the linebackers in the middle there,
Yeah.
so there should be more run lanes for CMC. I think that'll help. Again, Kittle's a deodorant that fixes everything. I mean, um and with the receivers right now, with Robinson, because Pearsall, I don't think Pearsall's playing. So let's just say it's Demarcus Robinson and Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah.
Those are going to be the starters. If they're out there with Kittle, it's not bad. If Watkins can play and get out there and be a little disruptor
You can
as
spread
far
the
as that
field a
stuff
little bit.
goes, I think we've got a chance as far as that goes. The beginning of the season, I thought our wide receiving core was like terrible. It was like,
Yeah,
oh my
me
gosh,
too.
what are we doing here? What are we doing here with these guys? And I Robinson, I just think he hasn't gotten in his groove yet. He hasn't played that much, and I think this is going to be the chance for him to get out there and do something. Between him and Bourne, I mean, Bourne he's a roller coaster, but I think with Kittle back, it fixes everything. It's in the run game will be better, and again, the short passing game should be pretty good as well.
Yeah. I think the Niners are 3-point favorites in this game. And I mean, you can never count them out. I think they're still a good team. You're 4-2 and everything. But Shanahan, it just seems like under the lights during primetime games. And we saw it against the Rams, who were 8-point underdogs for that game. He showed up. He showed up with his bag. So I can expect the 49ers. I can expect Shanahan to dial up something like great for the opening drive. He always has like good opening drive. So the 49ers have the ball,
Yeah,
I can
he's
see
great on script. He is great on script.
yeah.
Did we talk after the Rams game or no? I don't think we did, right?
No, yeah, I was like busy the next day and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
yeah, we didn't get to talk.
Look, that Rams game, that was probably the best game Kyle Shanahan ever coached,
Yeah.
in my opinion. He played keep away. It was perfect. He kept Stafford off the field, even though Stafford still had almost 400 yards passing. Think
Mhm.
about that. With the hidden fact in that game is the fact that Stafford did that in 20 minutes. 400 yards in 20 minutes. That's the part that's scary about the next time we play them.
Yeah.
Even though it's at home, it's like, wow, man. And I think I thought that's what Kyle was trying to do in this game, was just trying to play keep away. He just could not control the ball. I mean, they were just so good because
Yeah.
Mayfield just he destroyed us.
No,
That Johnson guy
Des
caught
Johnson.
that. He was like their
On a
he's like their fourth or fifth wide receiver.
Mhm.
Think about that. Their fourth or fifth wide receiver split our safeties for a touchdown, for a
Yeah.
45-yard touchdown. It was like, oh,
And I mean, Baker had all day in the pocket though this entire game, and that's why it's like, okay, you don't even have Igbuka, but it doesn't even matter. He just sit there all day long looking for his receivers. They're wide open. There was nobody in like 5 yards in between each receiver.
yeah. When he went out, I was like, oh, we have a chance now.
Yeah. No,
Nope,
no, we got Tez
nope.
Johnson out there. Did you see after the game? They're interviewing him. He was like, "Yeah, after I scored that touchdown, they were saying MVP chance, and I thought it was for me." And then Sterling Shepard came up to him. He was like, "Dude, that's for Baker." He's like, "Oh, that makes sense. I've done nothing this year."
Yeah, exactly. It's like, no, but I mean, that's the time. Those are the times now where, because he's playing so well. He really is.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a tough matchup. Bijan Robinson's arguably is the best running back in the league this year. He had 170 rush yards yesterday against the Bills. He had a touchdown, and he had that massive 81-yard touchdown run. That I got Bijan on my fantasy team, and he put up 70 points for me yesterday. So thank you, Bijan, for that. I hope you don't do that this week, but he is scary, and I don't know if
Oh.
the 49ers are going to be able to contain him.
I don't think we're ready yet. Our run defense is. I don't think it's going to be good enough. And I mean, it stinks because CJ West and Khalil Davis both have broken hands.
Yeah.
Um, is Michael, this is Michael, this is the game you got to contain, homie.
Mhm.
You got to pull, stay outside, stay outside. I mean, I hope this week they just sit there and say, Michael, do not crash the
Yeah,
line,
sit
stay
there.
outside. So the linebackers can come in the middle, push all the guys inside, and the linebackers can clean up. I wonder if Nick Martin gets called up this week, though. I mean, they're going to need another linebacker. Obviously, he's not a Mike, because I
Yeah.
don't know who would be the backup. Is D Winters going to be the backup Mike and have to slide in if Bethune got hurt? That's
I think there's been talks. I think even Matt Mayoko talked about this today. He said he thinks Nick Martin's going to get pulled up.
so. It'd be cool to see him because I think he's a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah, he is a hitter.
He's not a Mike, but he's a hitter, and I mean, he's small for a linebacker. That's the biggest thing. I think he's just almost the same size as Tig. It's
Wow.
like
He's a
he
big safety, but he hits like a big linebacker though.
Yeah, I mean, he like I said, he's only like 230, 235.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's been spending his time in the weight room since he hasn't been getting called up for games.
Mhm.
I don't know if he's just in the weight room getting bulked up, but man, I can't wait to see him on the field, though. I'm excited about that. Not in the way it happened, but
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm excited to see him too, hopefully, because he looked good in the preseason. He got better each game because he was trash, I think, the first game. And then he did a little better. Oh, he made some good plays here. He wasn't missing. He wasn't driving down the field and completely missing the guy with the ball.
yeah, he was just trying to drill people
Yeah,
and get
he
the
wasn't playing
and
smart.
Yeah, he was just trying to knock people out in the
Yeah.
first game. Second game, it was like, oh, okay, he can hit, he can't cover. And then by the third game, he looked like a complete player.
Yeah. JU underscore 8600 said our corners need some help. And yeah, Drake London had 158 yards receiving, 10 receptions yesterday, 1 touchdown. The 49ers actually had some tryouts today. I can pull it up here for a couple DBs actually. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know why. I don't know if someone's injured or looking for here, needs some more depth on the practice squad or whatnot. But we got the full list of tryouts. Offensive tackle Andre Dillard, who's actually on the 49ers at the beginning of the season, and then he came back from like the PUP list. They put him on the IR, and then they just ended up releasing him. But we got some DBs here, which I'm not too familiar with: Shamar Bartholomew, Isaiah Bolden, and Trey Hawkins. So I don't know what that is about. I don't know. I haven't seen any injuries on regarding to safeties or cornerbacks or anything.
That's probably practice squad stuff. That's not, I mean, anything. I mean, look, Renardo's been having a real roller coaster of a season. He's been good. He's been not so good. Um, we'll see. I don't know. And then when Pinnock didn't play in this game, I don't know if you saw a thing where Miyoko was talking about how Pinnock's possibly not playing because they're thinking he might be a trade candidate.
Interesting. I didn't.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it was Miyoko who said that. He was like, oh, Pinnock's not playing, so chances are he could be a trade candidate, and that's why he's not playing. So expect him to get moved,
Mhm.
maybe. And then obviously, and then Kyle comes out and goes, no, no, no. We just thought Tig was playing well and wanted to get him in there. It's
Yeah.
like,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would Pinnock have rolled up on Fred's ankle?
Okay, don't be one of those guys.
I'm just messing. I'm just
I
playing
know, I
around
know.
with it.
But that is
I'm sorry.
funny
That
though.
let me do my Grant Cohn.
No, exactly. There's only 10
Yeah,
guys on the field for that play too. So if there was 11 guys, that probably doesn't even happen either. So that's just a brutal mistake, that can't happen.
I
And
know. I think
Shannon
that was Jennifer Little Chan. I think was the one who
said
brought
that
that up.
she brought it up, and I saw Shannon say that I think it was Michael Williams. He was on special teams, and they thought he was out there, and then they just didn't see that he wasn't out there. So I mean, that's just a series of misfortunate events.
Yeah, because Kyle was like, "Oh, I would have called timeout if I would have saw it," and I didn't see it, and I was like, "Okay,"
Yeah,
because he was probably looking at his play sheet.
exactly. That's what he does 100% of the time. That's a whole different story there, though.
Yeah,
I think we can almost end it with the biggest story outside of Bijan Robinson being Bijan, but it was the Bears Commanders game. Jake Moody got called up in this game because I don't know if the Bears kicker was injured or something like that, but they called up Jake Moody yesterday and he kicked the game winning field goal. He was 4 for 5 yesterday. He had a blocked field goal, but he kicked the game winner for 38 yards. And it's good to see it. A couple of my buddies absolutely still hate Jake Moody, so they're not wishing the best for him. But I'm like, come on, like you got to give it to him. He had a bad time with the Niners, and it's all mental stuff, and it showed it there. The fresh start for him, and he dominated in the rain and everything.
prime example of why sometimes change of scenery is just exactly what the doctor ordered. I mean,
Yeah.
he didn't look, I mean, on this team on the sidelines, he looked like he was going to wet his uniform some of the times when it came, when it was like, oh no, here comes Moody. And he looked happy, he looked confident, and he won. Good for him.
Great
Here's
way
to
to
you, Jake
introduce.
Moody.
Great way to introduce yourself to your new team.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, we got Eddie Money and Jake's off doing his thing.
yeah. Here's Jake Moody. I can hear him so dialed in. He's got his helmet on in the post game interview.
What was that, Lisa Salters?
Yeah.
Jake, the most made field goals in a Bears debut. Just what is this night feeling like to you after the year you've had?
I mean, it feels amazing, to get, all that support after the game from all my teammates. I got here not too long ago, but for everybody to embrace me and, take me in as one of their own, it's an amazing feeling.
What were you saying to yourself after things kind of went sideways in San Francisco?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have a fresh start, and I always believed in myself, believed in my teammates. And, shout out to Scott and Tori. They made that operation really easy on me. And same with the O-line up front, protecting great on that last one. That you can't draw it up any better.
So there it is. Great start. Oh, it's still going. I mean, fresh start, and that's what it is. I feel like 100% of the time for kickers that don't do good. I forgot who I was listening to a couple weeks ago, but they were talking about all these rookie kickers that have been drafted high and everything, and a lot of them, I think 90% of them got cut from their original team because of the pressure that they had, being a guy that was drafted high in the draft, and then they ended up having great careers, with other teams. And for Jake Moody, I think that's the start for him for a good career for him. But yeah, we got Eddie P, so I'm good. I'm chilling.
He's why you don't draft a kicker.
Exactly.
That's why you don't draft kickers. You just bring them in.
Yeah.
You bring them in. You don't draft kickers. Because what wasn't he third round?
He was a third round pick. Yeah.
I mean, think about that. Think about who we picked in the third round this year. Right? It was Nick Martin.
Nick Martin. Mm-hmm. Think about who we could have gotten that year,
Yeah, you taking Nick Martin, or you taking a kicker. You're never taking a kicker. You're taking a linebacker.
Yeah.
Especially when it's a need. You take a need. A kicker is not a need. A kicker is, hey,
come here, dude. 45-year-old off the field, off the street, and he's gonna kick 100% of your kicks and be great.
Yeah, and if he's not, there's another one.
Exactly.
It's not that early. If you take him in the 6th, 7th round, who cares?
Yeah.
Those picks generally aren't making the team anyway, for the most part, unless you get somebody that falls down because of an injury or something like that, where somebody's taking a medical flyer out on somebody, like Trent Baalke used to do all the time. So
yeah, you live and you learn. Mistakes happen, but I think it was a costly mistake for the Niners to draft third round pick kicker. But that time of history is done for the Niners, which is good.
Good luck, Jake.
Good luck, Jake. Congrats. Hopefully you have a successful career. Last thing we could get into really quick is the power rankings today came out for the 49ers, our league. This is Bleacher Report. The 49ers dropped down to 13 in the league. Last week they were 5th, so they were top 5 in the league last year. And this thing just talks about Niners are 4-2 record, but obviously all their injuries. And then eventually fellow stars like Brock Purdy, Kittle, and Brandon Aiyuk are expected back, which I think is the reason why. Because I saw another one, the 49ers were dropped down to like 16 in the league. But, I mean, I think this is the thing why the 49ers could still have a successful season, but definitely not a top 10 team anymore, not top 5. What do you think, Rich?
It depends on what you think the goal is for the team this year. If you think this is a Super Bowl team, then you're disappointed. You're thinking, no way. It's if you thought it was a Super Bowl team, having Fred gone and Bosa gone and all that stuff, it's just, everyone's like, let's go, let's get more players, let's get a linebacker, let's get a defensive end, let's mortgage the future and grab all this stuff now.
Yeah.
I don't think this is that team. I'm rooting for my team. I hope they win every game. But I don't feel like, look, at the beginning of this team, this team has already exceeded my goals for it. And we're only, 5-6 weeks in. We're week 6. This team's already exceeded what I thought it was going to do. I had us going 2-4 in the division. We're already 3-0. I had us 11-6 on the year. I still think we're going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I still think we're going to be 11-6, 10-7, depending on the Giants, the Browns, and this game. Well, probably more the Houston game. Although I think I had Houston as an L at the beginning of the year.
I think I did too. Yeah.
So and that's probably this game. This game, Cleveland, and the Giants game are going to make or break for me whether or not this team still, goes 11-6, 10-7.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking we wild card. And we do something because you don't know. We still got 3 games left. Seahawks are playing better than they were when we played them. Cardinals with Kyler out. Maybe we catch them before Kyler gets back.
Mm-hmm.
And the Rams, they just seem to be getting better and better every week, even though they're doing goofy stuff here and there. But and is Puka hurt? I saw him.
He's day to day with an ankle injury, low ankle sprain.
So, he kind of makes or breaks their offense, but I don't know. If we win one more game in division, we got a chance.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that we're going to beat the Rams or the Seahawks second time around.
Mhm.
The Cardinals are our chance.
Cardinals are a chance, and then just looking at the entire league going into this season, this was an easy schedule, but I mean, we've got the Colts. What are they? 5-1 right now. The Bears 3-2. They're looking good this season with Ben Johnson. Even the Giants are turning things around with Jackson Dart. The
Yep.
Packers, didn't they just have a? Did they just win this last week too? They're looking a little better. I think they're 3-3 now, or 3-2 or something like
Yep.
that. So
Yep.
it's not a cakewalk for the 49ers at the end of the season. They're gonna have to earn these wins now. And just the injury riddled season in the Niners, Fred Warner and Bosa out, it's going to be a lot tougher. And, this offense, I think, is the key. They're going to have to carry the 49ers the rest of the season.
Yeah. And I mean, Dart and Scatabo on the Giants, they're giving those guys hope.
Yeah.
Dayball is coaching for his job. GM there's coaching for his job too. So maybe that's how we trade JJ and get something for him.
Get that 23-year-old guy. I know who you're talking about. I forgot his name also, though.
I can't remember his name, but I mean, I know Kruger was talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
And I trust Larry Kruger. Anything Larry says, I'm pretty much trust what he's saying, because I mean, because of his background. I mean, he was a scout at one point in the CFL. So generally, if he's saying something, chances are there's
He
meat
knows
on
what
that
he's
bone.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
See if we got any more chats. We got someone else in here. Kid Clientele Siege is. See, I don't know what that means. Siegel. Here we go. Siegel is getting smoked.
He is.
Yeah.
He is, but he's an awesome tackler, and he's still learning, and he's in the play every single time. He just hasn't really started closing yet.
Yeah.
Got to be patient. Be patient with him. I think he's got a chance to be really good. I mean, think about it like this. Siegel is in every play, even when the guys are beating him and stuff like that. He's in the play. Last week, D Winters, his guys were beating him, and he wasn't even on the screen. He wasn't even on the screen. He was getting beat so bad. So think about that. I mean, look, Siegel's got a chance to be really good. I think that's why he beat Pinnock out as far as staying on the team. And I look at it this way: if you've got two players and you think they're somewhat equal, you always go with the younger guy. And I think
that's got the higher upside.
Yeah, and I look, they got a chance to be really good. Mustafa and Siegel have a chance to really, really be good at our safeties, and then having, whatever Tig is going to end up being for us.
Mm-hmm.
If he's going to be if he's just going to be like a super scrub where he comes in, he plays a little linebacker, plays a little safety, and they kind of move him around and chess piece him, because he's like that in between size. That's the problem with Tig.
Yeah.
He's in between.
Slow as a safety, but he's not fast enough as a linebacker, maybe, or I don't know.
He's not big enough.
He's not big enough as a linebacker. Yeah, that's what it is.
He's just shy of where you want him to be. He's like a tweener, and it's like, I think that would be the goal, is because Tig's a ball hawk.
Mm-hmm.
So it stinks because he's too slow to really be back there, a free safety.
Yeah.
But he's a ball hawk. In college, he was a ball hawk. He had a lot of picks, and was a good player. It's just in the NFL, he's like that tweener. He just doesn't fit anywhere.
Right.
And that's where I think his chance to be good is to be the spot duty guy. Get a couple plays in at safety, like rundowns at safety, crush him down in the box, get him down in there, let him play. And then also, if you need him, he can cover tight ends and bigger guys. He just can't cover receivers.
Yeah.
So you can put him in the box as a linebacker as long as he's covering a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. He's a tweener.
Right.
But Siegel's good, man. Don't give up on him yet.
Yeah, and to the point where Siegel's getting smoked all the time. I mean, our whole secondary was getting smoked last week, and you can't put the whole blame on them. It's a two-way street. If you don't apply pressure on the defensive line, you can't expect the secondary to cover for 5, 6, 7 seconds. And that's what's going to happen.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah,
I was just going to say that. I go, how you make corners and safeties really good is pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
Is pass rush. That makes receivers, DBs and safeties way better if you've got a killer pass rush. If again, it's like Kittle helping the run game, having a stud guy who can either sack or cause havoc we'll fix the back end. And you're so right about the time. I mean, I'd love to see what teams are averaging for like the amount of time a quarterback is able to stand in the pocket versus us this year, because it's probably way higher than you think.
100%. All right. I mean, Tuesday, we still got a couple days till Sunday Night Football. It's gonna be a good matchup, I think, for the 49ers and the Falcons. They're a better team than I expected them to be. Michael Penix is playing better than I thought he was gonna play. We got some positive injury updates, I think, yesterday with the 49ers. We'll see how practice looks on Wednesday. We'll see if Purdy actually is out there jogging on the field, throwing some passes. George Kittle, I think, out of the whole injury report, some guy we might be able to see on the field on Sunday. And Jordan Watkins, that was the biggest surprise for me, guys. But yeah, I think it should be a good game, even with Fred Warner out. I think the Niners still got a chance to win this game on Sunday.
If with Kittle, it really, really opens things up for us. He's the piece, because the problem is their running game's so good. Can we stop them? That's going to be the piece. Is can our guys tackle this week and not
to throw it,
because that's what's going to fix us. And we definitely got to stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
Penix, I'm not even really that worried about him. I hate to say it. I don't think he's elite by any means.
Yeah.
But their running game is elite. So if we can stop them and force them to, make some mistakes, maybe we get a couple of picks. Maybe we get a pick. Be nice to get a pick.
First game. It's in 13 games, I think now.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a pick. I mean, look, Fred dropped 2 early in the season.
Yeah.
So we've been around it. We just haven't closed the deal. Yeah. It's I mean, I'm hoping, this would be a good week for Demo to do something crazy, or, maybe Renardo has that killer game, or maybe Mustafa. Maybe Mustafa gets a little more time in now that he's got a game, to see how he's recovered, because he wasn't on the injury report, right?
No, I didn't see anything like that. So
okay, so that's good. So that means he had a good game, and didn't come out of it with any problems.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Papa J, for joining the chat. Thank you, Kid Clientele, for joining the chat as well. Make sure you guys follow Rich Bonsall on X, the Mad 49er tweeter. And follow First and 49ers, YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok. I'm everywhere, mainly YouTube and Instagram. Road to 500 YouTube, road to 10,000 Instagram. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thanks for coming on, Rich. Hopefully we'll get you on maybe later on this week to talk more about the Falcons game. But I mean, that's it, guys. Appreciate for joining. Go Niners. Stay faithful, baby.
Thanks for having me.
Touchdown!